mistakenly peeks. Same fall. He gets shot by the Phantom and finally gets the one point.
Yeah, makikita niya dito. The exotic sinatan. And Rex with just the man. With the big score. Exotic with the all topic. And fully in the close to it.
This tournament is brought to you by Predator Gaming, Intel, and PC Game Pass.
It's been a hot minute since these teams have clawed their way into the playoffs, but they're here now and they're ready to fight for the crown that we are very fighting for. Magandang araw, Pilipinas, and hello to the local Valorant scene. Welcome to the playoffs of the Predator Kings of PH 2025, the main event we've all been waiting for. Kapala si Ramon, kasama ko si Mochi, and we have the honor and privilege to be calling the action all throughout the day hanggang sa grand finals natin. Kamusta ka naman, Mochi? It has been 2 weeks since nakita kita. Blessed ba yung Holy Week natin today?
Blessed naman. Okay naman, no? And okay. Ako mapala si Dado, Char. Ano naglalaman ganun. Pero, oo nga siya yung nag-cover sa akin last week. Shoutout sa'yo, pre. Maraming salamat. And I'm super pumped up, no? Lalong-lalo na ito na yung pinakahuling araw, no? The last chance, the last dance, the last fight para sa mga nangiiwan ng mga teams natin para makapaglaban sa isa't isa in order to take the crown for themselves. Most especially na balita ko kung sino man ang mag-kampiyon dito, makakasecure ng slot para sa ating Predator League na darating in a bit.
Yep. Later down the road, magkakaroon sa napagandang opportunity para madali ang kanilang magiging run. But before all that, we would like to thank ang Games and Amusement Board for allowing Predator Gaming to officiate ang Kings of PH 2025 as an official tournament registered under the supervision of the Games and Amusement Board in the Philippines. Thank you so much. Napakalaki ng suporta ng government sa ating local na liga, kaya ang daming mga Valorant players na nakakapaglaro under the scene of Predator League as well as Kings of PH as well. So thank you so much sa Gab once again, and thank you so much sa lahat ng mga pupunta dito sa stream natin kasi alam ko na napaka-excited ang mga viewers natin para masuportahan ang mga local players natin at saka ang mga tao dito na ready na nalaman kung sino yung magiging Kings of PH. Kasi if you look at the tournament overview, it has been one heck of a tournament so far, Mochi. Talagang
gusto ko yung get up mo ngayon para kang nagre-report Pero let's talk about dito sa ating tournament overview, no? We came from 4 qualifying legs for every single weekend Nagkakaroon tayo ng 2 and nag-start tayo sa best of 1 tapos talagang balagbagan pagdating ng semifinals and finals natin kasi best of 3 na kaagad-agad and nandito na tayo ngayon sa ating phase 2 kung saan there is going to be a single elimination and as well as a best of 3 at tulad ng sabi natin kanina, ang kampiyon ay magkakaroon ng direktang imbitasyon papunta sa ating Predator League Philippine Finals Group Stage. And check it out, guys. Prize pool natin, 100,000 total. Paghahati-hatian yan ng ating 4 teams kung saan meron tayo 60k for the champion, 20k for the first runner-up, and as well as second, third runner-up natin ay pareho makaka-receive ng 10,000 pesos.
Napakalaki ng mga incentives natin para sa ating local teams, kaya talagang they've been working pretty hard on trying to become their best version of themselves. We've seen multiple storylines, a lot of good shoutouts sa mga teams natin na naglaro sa past qualifiers. We had really good teams like 7-Sep. We have really good teams like Homeless that have actually paved the way to what could have been a really good breakout for stars in the tier 2 scene, like White Cat, katulad din ng si Vil, not the caster I'm talking about the player himself.
The player.
Oh, tama. The player. We're talking about the caster. Shoutout nga pala kay Vil kung manonood siya mamaya. But as we've said, Predator para sa mga gustong mag-breakthrough in the grassroots scene as well. Kaya ang ganda ng opportunity na ginagawa ni Predator dito, just giving out really good prize pools at saka giving an opportunity for these players to shine as well para malaman kung worthy pa sila papunta dun sa mga tier 1 scene natin.
Syempre naman, papatunayan nila yan. And as much as possible, they'll of course, gonna be giving their all. And kung hindi man, there's always a next time, which is what's wonderful with these types of grassroots tournaments. Wow, nabubulol pa ako. Pero ayun, no? Chinecheck ko yung mga comments natin dito eh. Nakakatuwa kasi makikita mo agad yung mga pamilyar na mga muka na laging naririyan, yung mga nakaraan na linggo, nandiyan na rin sila, no? Always present, never absent, no? Which is very nice and nakaka-excite kasi what I like then sa mix ng mga teams na meron sa atin ngayon, pansin mo, every live stream, yun yung laging maraming sumusuporta.
Oo nga eh, di ba? Either
Diba?
mga kaibigan nila, former players, na former teammates din na nakakalaro nila, di ba? It's a good mix. At kitang-kita mo yung suporta para sa mga lalaro natin. Kaya we have to take a look at the tournament bracket that we have. We have 4 teams. Dito sa playoffs, they have battled through a bloody qualifying leg para makarating dito. At malalaman natin kung sino ang papasok sa grand final stage natin mamaya as we start things off at Chronicles Esports versus Orion Esports sa ating pinakaunang BO3 of the day. At pagkatapos nun ay Oasis Gaming versus Orgless, which actually has a bit of history if you actually look into the Valorant scene as well, Mochi.
And let us now check out ang ating today's matches. We're in for semifinals. Tulad nang naka-refer doon sa bracket na ni-refer ni Ramon, nandiyan ang Chronicles Esports versus Orion Esports, and as well as for our semifinals, nariyan ang Oasis Gaming versus Orgless. So, this is gonna be pretty spicy, if I may say, no? Lalong-lalo na all of these teams are no stranger to each other. All of the legs, all of the VODs na pwede nilang reviewin para sa kanilang mga sarili at pag-aralan ng isa't isa, paano nila mauunusan ang kanilang counterpart na makakalaban ngayon. I'm pretty sure handang-handa na sila dito lalo na meron pa tayong mga naririnig-rinig sa ibang mga players nila recently, and kung ano yung paano yung mga paghahanda nila, and even how actually yung mga predictions natin kamo may epekto sa kanila, Ramon.
Kaya nga kasi napansin ko, may narinig ako mga teams na medyo nagkakaroon ng konting buff kapag nalaman nilang hindi natin sila pinipredict. Hindi ko alam kung nagtatampo sila or talagang
sorry na guys!
Kaya sorry na. Kung gusto niya ng lambing, hindi dito na namin kayo lalambingin pagdating dito sa ating mga team lineups natin. We have the Orion Esports roster who has proven to be a very big behemoth pagdating dito sa ating mga Tier 2 tournaments. We've had the old Kadiliman roster now picked up by this organization who are now trying their best para makapag-breakthrough into the Predator League scene. Yet again, we have Kyle, Tap, si Dos, si MD2, at saka si Migs. They're proven players. At the same time, they're also trying to prove themselves against the best team in the Philippines ngayon. So, you now have Chronicles Esports. Kitang-kita mo naman yung mga pangalan na yan, Mochi. Talagang stand out ang lahat ng mga nandito kasi lahat sila, or if not most of them, are VCT players.
Of course. And what's wonderful here, meron tayong head-to-head. We are gonna be seeing Migs and Sovano. Well, nakita naman natin kay Migs. Gusto ko yung naka-highlight Neon, no? All in, all out, and high risk, high reward playstyle lang meron dito kay Migs. But on the other hand, we also have Sovano on this counterpart, which is more on focused with not only being the entry fragger, the space freer, if that is a term, but also the fact that despite the duelist role, kayang-kaya niyang suportahan. So, would it be yung all-out strength na kaya mong isupply para sa sarili mo and get your responsibilities done? Or would it be the counterpart, which is Sylvano, na suporta pa rin ang ibinibigay kahit na siya ang nagpapasimuno ng pag-push?
Kaya nga kaya importante din mapag-usapan natin mamaya ang kanilang magiging map picks and bans kasi that's also gonna be a big factor sa magiging laban natin dito as it's not gonna be shown on your screen as of today. Fracture, Split, the most bad maps all throughout the tournament. Talagang wala talagang may gustong mag-play ng mga maps na to
As they should.
Masyadong 50-50 yung Fracture kapag ka nasa defense ka, kapag naman nasa Split ka, medyo alam mo na yung mga results na yun. Slow default kapag nag-start ka na. Most teams in the Kings of PH would like to play them aggressively. Teams like Chronicles, teams like yung Orion Esports right now who rely on MiGs who want to take the space na mabilisan, diba? So, it's definitely a comfort pick na itanggal nila yung parehong maps na to. Whereas Ascent and Pearl, which basically are the same maps in nature, are also gonna be played outside of this map pool in particular. So Lotus Icebox Haven confirmed to be played para sa series na to. Mochi, does this surprise you? Yung pinaka most picked map ng Lotus para sa Orion Esports ay binigyan ng opportunity na malaro ngayon.
Yeah, actually, no. I cannot deny that is most likely. I feel like Lotus is already the new Ascent na paglipasan na ng panahon. But look at their map picks ngayon, Ramon, which is definitely interesting because kung kanina binabagit lang natin na most bad map natin ng Fracture, abay, ayan na, inilatag na at pinili na ng Orion. And for map 2, we already have Icebox, which has been one of the most picked maps, and as well as ang Lotus for our decider, which is really interesting kasi this just means na they really want to start on something na mahirap na, no, and try to breeze their way through our map selection. But really excited kung ano ang mga hanash or pakulo ng mga teams natin for today.
Recently lang din bumalik yung Icebox, so I feel like Chronicles has been cooking that up for like a long time now. And if they're gonna be surprising yung Orion, they're gonna need a little bit more than just cool, calm, and collected aggression. Talagang kailangan i-match yung bilis ng Orion Esports dito kasi yun talaga yung naging game plan nila all throughout the qualifiers. Set up MiGs para makuha yung entry frag na mabilisan and overwhelm your opponent bago sila makapag-adapt towards that situation. Pero the thing is about Chronicles Esports is that they have a good support system all throughout their team. Talagang maganda yung coach nila, malakas din yung supports nila, yung initiators nila, malakas din bumaril. So it's not about the star players this time, it's the whole synergy across the whole team that actually elevates yung buong Chronicles Esports roster na to. So
well, I'm really excited to just see that. Pero let's check out kung ano ba ang meron dito sa ating predictions natin. Kasi parang pareho ata tayo ng ano dito.
Okay, so if you give me a minute, if you give me a minute to actually like justify this on my own, I think it's because matagal na kasi sila naglalaro talaga that they have they kind of proven to me that outside of their synergy sa Chronicles Esports, medyo may skill disparity din sa lahat. Kilala natin si RU, a lot of experience outside of the PH scene. We also know that the Game Lab Alpha Core will also be a big threat lalo na sa mga tournaments sa ganito. So I feel like they will make a splash, but I don't think Orion Esports will make it easy for them.
Pwede bang pa-copy-paste na lang sagot mo sa sagot ko? Pero in addition and supporting that as well, I feel like there is a good say din siguro, most especially dun sa performance ni Rimurukod. Kasi by the way guys, share ko lang 152 total kills ang meron siya dito ngayon, which is one of the highest kills dito sa ating stats for Kings of PH in general. So just by basing on that alone and as well as the fair share of work and effort ng mga kasama niya, plus the synergy already existing for a long time already, well, that is the reason bakit kami nagtuwan ni Ramon. And we are down for Orion to prove us wrong.
Tama. We're not rooting for anybody to lose. We're just rooting for everybody to have fun. So as we're heading on in towards our agent select in just a moment, will it be a surprise na magdi-neon si Migs? I'm gonna be surprised if iba yung gagamitin ni Migs, diba? Kasi lalo na sa ating magiging first map pick ang Fracture, Neon is one of the most popular picks dito. We can also expect that a Raze and a Yoru could also possibly be picked. As we take a look at the picks right now, it will be Migs on that coveted Neon and the double initiator comp that has been terrorizing yung pro play for so long. It will be Nateo Breach para sa Orion Esports, which I also believe this is also a comfortable team composition for them as a whole. So I'm expecting them to be in their uproots kung saan mabilisan sila lagi mag-execute. Whereas for Chronicles Esports, they'll be picking up Sovano on the Neon as well. They also have their own Teo Breach combo, but the big difference is their Sentinel. So si Aeonix at saka si Kayel yung magiging head-to-head in my head right now. Parang konti lang naman yung difference. It's just gonna be a matter of yung playstyle difference sila pareho.
Yes, and might we also add, no, whenever that I see Dignified on Teho, Medyo, I have chills down my spine because this dude has been super good in supporting his team, no? And even using all of the utilities in order to combine it with amongst others. So I hope that we're gonna be seeing that with Orion Esports as well. So yeah, I guess we are gonna be diving right here just in a bit. Pero, might I add and ask the comment section to comment down below kung sino ang mga bias ninyo. Kasi guys, ito na yon, our semifinals won for today. And it's gonna be amongst these two teams wherein ang kanilang natatanging kaibahan ay ang kanilang sentinels na si Kael at as well as itong si Aeons.
No nga eh. Talagang it's gonna be a battle between the Settlers this time around. But it's also gonna be a battle between yung ating magiging smokers, diba? RU and DOS.
Yeah.
Sila yung dalawang parang underrated but never counted out sa mga gatong sitwasyon, diba? Kaya I think it's important that RU has to step up as a leader. But he has been doing a really good job of that. Nung nakita natin yung qualifiers kasi hindi lang siya magaling mag-IGL, magaling din siyang tumama as well. So that's gonna be the case for Chronicles Esports. That will be a big thing for them. But DOS also has been doing well in the frag department, so you can never count them out when it comes to these clutch situations as a whole. As we're back in towards the fracture map, ladies and gentlemen. At ngayon na nandito tayo, Mochi. Super excited now.
Same, man. I mean, it's been some time, no? Last week di ako nakapag-cast, which is nalungkot ako. Pero nag-ingay naman ako sa comment section. And right now, it is the last day, guys. So, better go all out. Best of 3. Tuloy-tuloy. Mahaba-haba ang araw natin ngayon. Kaya naman, mag-prepare na kayo para sa action ng Orion at Chronicles. That's just gonna be served up to you in a bit.
Ayan na nga. 5 seconds on the timer, mga kaibigan. It is the playoffs starting strong. Dito pa lang sa fracture map natin, it will be Orion Esports versus Chronicles Esports for a spot in the grand finals. And with Sovano pushing up towards that trap position, mukhang kailangang ibigay yung space na to dahil 4 silang naka-intersect sa Sands at saka A-main position.
Very quiet. Pero medyo maingat pa nga rin itong mga miyembro natin dito. Pero napaka-agresibo ng Orion ngayon, no, sa kanilang stature. But at the same time, seems like tons of people will just gonna be falling down. Kung sino yung mga nang-amba, naghanda, abay sila pa ang napatumba. Which is quite unfortunate here for Orion. And look at that, there's just a couple more people remaining here sa kanila. And the objective is secured for Chronicles.
4v2, 5v2 this time around. Chronicles, a strong push towards A main and taking control of that site. Dahil sa amount of util being pushed onto them with the Onyx, getting all these shots necessary, making it a 5 versus 1 with Boss. Hindi natatagal dito sa mundong ito. It's a first round win for Chronicles, as easy as that. Yung Orion yung mismong nag-initiate ng defense on that A-main position. And when you thought that Sands position was also going to be somewhat of a wild card for them, medyo na-expect na din nila eh, kasi sila mismo yung nag-wrap around so A-main to control of the site. And so Vano, since he is on the Neon, napakabilis din niyang na-take control yung Sands from behind. So talagang na-crunch yung mga tao doon sa may Sands at wala na sila matakbuhan, kundi wala, namatay lang din sila sa Neon.
Ouch. Grabe, no? Ben, alam mo yung andain mong pin-repair, andain mong ginawa, tapos ganun na kasimple yung pag-address sa'yo. Pero that's just the first round. So, as much as possible, we want Orion to take down maybe like a couple or more members here for Chronicles in order to get the edge somehow in terms of the economy, no? Para man lang masayang yung kanilang buy. Pero we are gonna be seeing some good signs of possible commitment dito sa B-site natin. Marami-rami na naman yung mga kumparin natin dito, while the rest of the squad here on Orion, good addressment, no? Naka-stack lang sila. They will try to push here together while Kael will just be chilling at the sidelines just in case na meron mong gubalak ng plank and early on. But we are gonna be seeing some trades coming in already. Mukhang maganda pa ang magiging trade-offs from Orion themselves, and now it is already a 2v2.
Low end with a ghost in hand. Dignified is gonna have to play on the passive position. DOS also low. Kael very low as well. So the Vandal has to be the biggest factor dito. but he can't reload it. So with the 5 bullets, he has to spray on through, gets the shot. 2v1, Kyle, the leader, has to step up, but with a perfect E. It's dignified with a triple kill. The guided salvos really disrupting the window that Orion Esports would have had if Kyle hit the shot, got the Vandal upgrade, and actually went on into the spike as well. So a 2-0 para sa Chronicles. A good start for them, pero medyo naging disruptive pa sa economy nila considering the good trades happening dun sa arcade really swung into the favor of Orion for a moment there.
That's great, actually, performance here for Orion Esports. Definitely narrowing down yung mga creds dito, no? Making some of that money fly away para sa Chronicles. But now, dapat, in theory, Orion should get the upper hand on this one. Although there might still be some avenue for Chronicles to actually get this one out, most especially in terms of positioning and how they work with each other in terms of their body system is somewhat immaculate so far. Aeonic sisimulan might actually go for another, and guess what? It's a 1v2, but he managed to take a couple, but there's already attempt for the trade, but once again, I don't think that's gonna be enough.
Dahil force buy din ito across the board for Orion, it's not gonna be a good look for them in the long term. Guardian in hand for Kyle. With the push in hand, it's a triple peak from Chronicles Esports. Reach with a triple kill. You can see that everybody is in tip-top shape, confident in their performance right now. Talagang pagka-start pa lang, they kind of noted na Mix likes to play this aggressive angle on top of that tall box. Aeonix being very aware of this, just deciding to wait for the perfect time to swing. And even with that smoke, it kind of helps him in that fact as well, even though medyo natulungan yung Orion to set up after the fact kasi siya yung lumabas sa smoke eh. And normally in those scenarios, you normally don't expect anybody to come out of that.
Yeah. Which is a common, ewan ko kung masasabi nating sakit siya ng mga players porque merong smoke. Wala na mangyayari to the smoke. It's just a matter of blockage. But look at Tap. Literal na Tap through to his name. Taking a couple from the Sheriff and even gotten a bonus Vandal. But unfortunately, that's gonna be short-lived dahil siya ay shutdown lang naman ni Dritch. And still, though, they're just gonna be creeping up dito sa B-site natin. And this is about time for them to go and offer the execute. Unfortunately, MD2 and DOS to be able to stop them in their tracks. A good sign here for Orion. And now it's all up to Sovano to take charge and try to clutch this. If and only if he can? Question mark, Kael? From the backlines? Catching him off guard. Shots at the reconnecting muntikan pa. But at least, he's been able to get the job done.
Second time's the charm para sa Orion. An attempt at taking control of B main, but this time it was with support from the team. And they only needed Tap to make the difference this time. Headshots towards RU and Aeonix just cutting down the numbers. And despite it becoming a little bit ugly, considering that they also took down the 2 players and nag-hold on sa B main, Di naka-responde si Sovano, a little too late to the call. The Trailblazer that was supposed to be the entry for the team becomes forced into a clutch scenario where he could not win without Util. 3-1. Finally breaking through the streak of Chronicles Esports. Orion Esports papasok. At least making an attempt dun sa may beam in extremity. Guided salvos destroys at least one of the tripwires, but they still need to take note of the one inside the site. They also use the Steel Garden, and Migs, a very aggressive push shot, spots out RU, stuns him up, but everybody is expecting him. One shot towards Dignified, 1-for-1 trade-off for Tap as well. 3v4. Advantage coming through for the defense, but they're still swinging on forward. They never expected MD2 as well. Dreech coming up in another. It's all falling apart until Dreech makes it a triple kill to make it a 1v2 clutch scenario. At kailangan pa siyang i-sandwich para malaban sila dito.
What if? What if lang naman, no? Wala naman tayong sinasabi, pero what if, no? It's a 1v2. And seems like Ditch is taking his time of day into waiting kung meron mang manggagaling sa kanyang likuran. Pero once again, with the risk of being sandwiched, tulad nga ng sabi ni Ramon, this might be some bad news waiting for him to happen.
30 seconds left.
Even with the camera being placed by the Cypher here. 20 seconds in the clock. I'm not quite sure if there is gonna be enough time for him to actually secure the plant for himself. Wala namang tao dito sa A kung sakali though. Kaya lang parang wala nang oras, Ramon.
Wala na nga.
10 seconds left.
Nag-ingay, sinira yung cam, and nakalabas pa yung knife. So Dreech is just walking towards his death. Doss at least with another kill, a second round win, and
Ang cute.
medyo may konting appearance si Tacti Bear.
Nakakaliw.
Ang cute naman. Nakuha mo na ba yung Battle Pass this season?
Actually, hindi. Meron pa ba? Ilang araw na lang ba yun?
I don't know actually. Can you guys comment kung ilan na lang yung Battle
Pa-comment
Pass
nga,
days?
guys. Check nga natin. baka makahabol pa ako. Kasi legit sayang yung Tactiver. Ang cute nun eh. Pero, at least, no, kasabay ng paglipad ng pera natin para bumili ng Battle Pass, and lumipad din yung ibang pera dito ni Orion. But, what's good is they managed to get the job done and win the round themselves. It is a 3-2 after all. Maaga-aga pa. And A-site is ready enough for them, no? Ang kailangan na nang gawin nila dito ay magplanta. Yun nga lang nga, bandang likuran, MD2, masisecure lang din ni Ionix. And we are even gonna be having the chance to secure and see na pati si Dos, mawawala. Ionix good for 2, but with some attempted trade here from Kael. And we're gonna be seeing some follow-ups here and there. A couple of people here dito galing sa entrada natin. Sinusubukan na lumabang pumalag kay Sylvano at Ionix. But they are gonna be well prepared in this type of scenario. They're just gonna be waiting for the time, making the most out of it. The pressure as well. Kael doesn't know what to do, to be fair. Which is fair as well. But still valiant effort for him.
He even shot the body of Sylvano as he kills him off. So, yun na lang siguro yung pantaas ng pride niya dito as he actually gets himself a 3K in hand. But I kind of want to take note yung naging impact ni Ionix dito. Kasi literally this guy, in our history, he hasn't been a player in my eyes back then that I'd say na lagi nasa top of the scoreboard. But throughout the Kings of PH, he's been showing constant improvement.
Laki ng
He's
growth
been
niya.
stepping up in his performance. Laki ng growth na, as you said.
Yeah.
He used to be a very passive player in my eyes, but now he's actually taking initiative. Speaking of initiative, Sylvano doesn't hesitate. Judge in hand, he needs 4 bullets. And eventually he hits the shot. MD2 and tap.
Wow.
Will counter with a 3 kills for them. 3v2. A main extremity fully controlled by Orion Esports as Chronicles are gonna have to run for the hills, especially for Dreech and Ionix. Sila na lang yung dalawa na natitira sa kanila.
It's a 2v3 after all. They can actually equalize the numbers and it's gonna be a full-on reset, but neural theft is just gonna be used here by Kael, and that is more than enough information for them to understand that they are already here in B. And as much as possible, they want to stop them in their tracks so that they won't be able to reset and won't be able to plant the spike even. So, medyo delikado sila dito, Ramon, no? Yun nga lang nga itong si Ionix. Pag ito, sumakses sa pag-aligid-aligid niya dito, ewan ko na lang talaga.
Mabuti na lang. Wala siyang makikita doon sa may city so far.
Good
So
shit.
he has to be the one
Ooh.
to actually pick up the pieces. Dreech will eventually equalize the numbers. And Ionix is in a perfect position.
Uy,
Rolling Thunder catches their attention as well. And with a
Naku!
perfect flash, that gives up another kill para kay Ionix. As Dreech picks up the 3K, that was a 2 versus 3. That eventually became a win for Chronicles Esports. Numbers do not matter in their eyes.
Ang gagaling nyo mag-Valorant, guys! Grabe, no? Actually, akala ko that's already like a good round for Orion, most especially that they are already in a good position as well to check out every single nook and cranny here in this site. But unfortunately, once again, we forgot to take into account the perfect blind that Dritch may actually put in that specific situation as well. Wonderfully executed here by Chronicles, but let us check out what's gonna be some changes in terms of behavior here, and most especially that there's already some cipher traps na inilatag dito sa B site natin, no? And currently though, as much as possible, parang Hopefully, hindi nila gawin uli yung mga orbital smokes na ini-stack nila kasi it didn't actually play in their favor kanina nung tinry nila yun.
Slow crawl back in towards A main, and because of the eco scenario para sa Orion, they don't want to be the ones becoming yung aggressive players dito as they hold both yung link position and yung sands para may konting reactiveness kapag ka pumasok ang Chronicles Esports and towards the A side itself. It's interesting that the entry does not want to use that outlaw to go in towards the site. They have Aeonix to do that for him since he does have the better gun. And with the smokes down, dito pa lang sila magpa-plan. So fully confirming the positions and where the spike plant is gonna be. Open pa nga ang objective para sa Chronicles as they go back towards main and rely upon their long-range guns para manalo yung 5 versus 5 retake that Orion's is forced into.
And I really like how careful they are in preparing themselves for the post plant, but at the same time, they better be careful because war is breaking out here at the sand area. But it seems like despite of the plan that Orion has at hand, it seems like it's gonna be out of commission momentarily. Now Kael, once again left alone. It seems like this situation is no longer a stranger for him. And I guess there's no longer a chance for him to make up for this team's mistakes. And in turn, this round will be given up away for Chronicles themselves.
I mean, it's a good round still, considering the win for Chronicles, fully elevating the lead that they had. A notable eco situation for them, considering that 4 of them died, 1 of them from the spike. So a lot of damage done, but it's still a question of if it's worth it kasi may 4-round advantage pa rin ang Chronicles against Orion. And a big step up for the support players that Dreach and Aeonix are holding at the helm for them. Especially for Aeonix, I already noted. This guy has only died 2 times throughout this first half. And as a
Grabe si
sentinel
bro.
who is dealing with so many aggressive players, grabe si bro kasi he has been dodging death ever since nag-start pa lang yung first half natin. And I think it's gonna be a recurring theme na ang tagal nilang hahanapin sa Aeonix bago sila magiging fully trusted sa retake nila.
I find it interesting as well is despite the fact that he is being faced up against like a couple or 3 members, imposibleng isa lang yung kukunin niya. Laging may kasunod, laging may kasama sa hukay, if I may say. But I feel like Orion can definitely fix that by just, staying close to each other rather than doing the audition things. Kasi sayang din, of course, especially when you are faced against Aeonix that for some reason has the calmest aim I have ever seen, or one of the calmest aim I have ever seen. So they really, really have to stay close and act close with each other. But now, we are going to be seeing some guided salvos being placed here at the drop area. But it seems like it's not going to be connecting to either of them. Or neither of them. Pero, ito na naman tayo sa V-site natin. Medyo nakakakaba dahil nakalatag na yung mga anik-anik ni Cypher dyan. So, just gonna be checking out for additional information. Not gonna be spotting them out. And of course, as ever, it is going to be a really careful and creeping execute from Conical. So, we are gonna see though, baka magkakitaan pa sila dito nila Migs.
Medyo na-counter pa nga ng Chronicles yung magiging setup sana kasi yung position ni Kyle is telling me that they want to play towards the smoke pero nevertheless they're investing in towards the double flank. Migs and tap for here and they can finally catch Dignify. That's a perfect flash and because of that Armageddon he has to swip up with that space as well. Already controlled by the space and because of that stun he doesn't have any sort of info whatsoever. Aeonix makes it a 1-for-1, and with that overdrive, Savannah's gonna lock down Migs. Reach and RU is also gonna knock down the numbers. It's all falling apart for them. 1v3 for Scary MD, and I don't think he has anything to do with this anymore.
The amount of time that Chronicles needed to recuperate from that situation of being caught off guard by Migs and DOS is phenomenal. But let's check out if MD2 would be able to somehow win this kahit papano, or at least just get a couple of exit frags while he's at it. Especially na lahat ng mga anggulo na pwede niyang panggalingan dito ay mukhang bantay sarado na ng Chronicles, and I guess the most reasonable thing to do is to just save the Vandal for himself, which is unfortunate. They've been seeing themselves in these types of situations for a number of rounds already. Pero, I mean, Ramon, kung ako ba naman ma-caught off guard ng ganun, feeling ko ubos na yung team natin eh. Parang, I'm not sure how they were able to keep themselves in check.
Ano yun, pati yung sobrang overwhelming ng kalaban mo, pati yung sarili mo na nagkakaroon ng identity crisis. Alam mo yun?
Diba?
No. As in,
Bahong
you
tayo
start...
yung mga nandun. Lahat tayo dignified na.
Ay, oo nga eh.
Yung una namatay.
Bigla na lang na gulat kasi bina-flash, tapos biglang may tumatakbo na neon sa'yo, naglabas ng ulti, tapos wala.
Exactly. But check this out. We are gonna be seeing some really fast entries here from Chronicles. Dalawa na agad ang napatumba nila dito, no? And they're not even stopping anytime soon. But of course, papalag at lalaban pa rin ng Orion dito hanggat maaari. Pero they've been able to juke them out. The moment they've got a lot of people here from A side, you know what, guys? What if dito tayo sa B ngayon? Hintayin natin silang mag-rotate, pero yun nga lang nga, prepared na si Mig. So, woo!
Nice shot. Nice double. Nice triple kill for Migs. Nakatatlo pa nga ang superstar for the side of Orion Esports, really trying to make a name for himself now. Late to the party dahil ang aga ng init ng supported players on Chronicles, but the slide down from Sovano, and muntikan pa ka maging double kill dahil if he was aware of the player on top of that group side, it would have been dangerous territory for them. But once they rotated dun sa B site, they were walking into the Cypher setup. And a good thing that even though Kyle dies in that entry, well, his util really kind of mattered dahil kahit wala yung mga trips, the cages kind of made them disoriented sa kung saan sila papasok.
Real. I mean, those are like times na gustong-gusto natin makita din from Migs eh, no? I mean, being on the Neon for maybe literally every single game that we see him. I mean, may mga times na sobrang high risk, high reward, like yung pag-ego pick niya doon or catching them off guard the moment na gusto nila mag-push dito sa B-site natin and being rewarded wonderfully. Yun yung lagi natin gusto makita kay Migs. And hopefully, baka second time siya rito because seems like they're just gonna try to commit dito sa A-site natin regardless of the Steel Garden being used. But let's fast check out. There's gonna be some really close partner combats about waiting for us to happen. It seems like DOS is quite lost in translation over there alongside Gael. But Migs is gonna be there diving right into the action as much as possible alongside with Tap Tap. And look at that. Pumapalag pa rin lumalaban ng mga member natin dito from Orion Esports. But there is still Tap Tap and MD2 still living, still fighting. But still, Chronicles will have the last laugh.
See, the thing about that was the perfect Steel Garden. You saw that Migs was willing to take the fight, but because of that ulti, he could not enter the fight as quickly as possible. He had to sweep out of it so he could dodge that ulti entirely. Pero it also gave the space para kay Sovano, really just cutting them off. Aeonix also, you've been seeing him entry on, initiating more fights than usual. But it's also to make up for the lack in terms of utility and awareness from the side of Chronicles right now. So you really needed more numbers in that regard. As Migs, he's going to try to push that in towards that B main extremity yet again, play towards that overdrive. Orion Esports really fighting back when they need to, but you can see that the communication is still stellar and clear for the side of Chronicles.
Definitely clear. Crystal clear even, but Orion, hopefully they would be able to get this round so that some sort of way they have a great kickstart for our second half. I mean, I am not quite sure where to stand, but I feel like you would be the best person to answer this. In terms of switching sides, do you think there is a better chance for Orion to get an edge in terms of rounds?
feeling ko they're getting affected by the attacker-sided map fracture talaga ito. Starting on defense, you really have to play towards the tempo of your opponent. At dahil apat yung mga entrances ng attackers, ay ang dami nilang options para masimulan ang aggression nila. As you start on B main, MD2 getting one, a 1-for-1. RU gets one, but tap, full straight it off. It's Migs popping that overdrive, trying to sweep on the two players, but Savannah's already inside of the site. Cleared off every corner of B and goes back towards the safety of his teammates. 2v1 now. After meeting itong si Dos, it will be that Rolling Thunder, and Dos actually getting himself a spray down. At dahil nandito pa siya sa Jenny, it looks like he has some cover, but Reach, he'll be able to swing it off and claim the 3-9 scoreline. Chronicles have a solid performance sa first half. Pero wala naman ang sinasabi mo, Chia. 3-9 to.
Wala naman. Sabi na eh. Sabi na yun yung una mong papansin eh. Pero wala na naman ako sinasabi na binuhusan ng abilities itong si Dos ni Dritch, no? So yung alam ko may galit itong si Dritch kay Dos. Nilapagan ng Rolling Thunder, 2 blind. Kung meron siyang concuss dun, pre, baka ginamit niya din. Ginamit kasi wala na siya lol. But I guess that is a powerful first half here from Chronicles. But once again, with the adjustments and the difficulty of being on the defender side in Fracture, I feel like things are bound to change here. Hopefully for Orion, try to even out the numbers if it is going to be possible for them. Pero we are going to be starting off from the drop area, which is really interesting. And we are seeing some quick responses that might even dictate the pace of the game here for Chronicles as time went by or goes by.
Prepared towards the A site position as they try to pop in towards Kyle, spotted. And I think dahil nakita siya with the hat coming through, halatang halata sa model na prepared ang Orion Esports for what would have been the flank this time around, a 5v4. They pop in towards that CT spawn, try to gatekeep them from actually getting in towards the site kasi si Tap nilabas agad ang fault line at napatay siya. So Van with a double kill as well, 22 HP, but a right click is enough. A double peek, a triple kill for Migs. It's a 1v2 and the superstar has a spotlight, has to pick off the last two players. And because noted yung position niya, he has a double peek, but it's a 4K! A 1v1! And Migs, all eyes on him, but all eyes on the pressure on his shoulders. Too much to handle. As Reach will pick it up. Here's the 10th round for the side of Chronicles as they shut down what could have been an ace clutch for the superstar himself.
Pre, pang TikTok highlight na dapat yun! Pero grabe yung performance ni Mix doon. Bigla na lang siyang gumanon, no? Pero biglang gumanon yung bala, kaya sayang din. But valiant effort for Mix. Hindi ko na ma-explain. Pero kanina pa ang naanasan sa laro niya, pre. Grabe. Pero once again, almost is never enough. So, unfortunately, hindi na nakuha yun or na-secure yung plant. And instead, with good positioning, Aryo's been able to address that. Or rather, si Dritch has been able to address that. But now, we are gonna be some really quick stances here from Orion. As much as possible, they really want to make the most out of the commitment na magagawa nila dito sa B-site natin just in case. Pero yun nga lang nga, nagpapakiramdaman pa sila. Smokes are gonna be blocking all the entry points, leaving them some ample time in order to secure the objective. Pero yun lang din eh, they better be prepared of the waves that are about to come.
Siyempre kasi naka-force buy din ng Orion Esports right now, diba? So I'm looking out for a Jenny position for at least one of them. That will be Doss in this situation right now. And Tap, he's gonna be funneled with utility, spotted, and it's gonna be a judge. Held onto his face. 2 kills, in fact. Doss with a perfectly good concuss, and Migs and Kyle picking up all the pieces that they need to equalize the numbers, making this force buy a little bit more valuable, but they still need to win the round. They're swapping all the guns that they need. Double judge in hand, and reach to get the 1-for-1 trade-off. That will be the 2 versus 1. The spot na si Kyle. They need to kill up for him, kaso yun nga lang, wala silang time. So that's a 4-10 scoreline for Orion. The force buy works out in the end.
Pero pre, ang sakit sa bulsa noon, nung round na yun. But I guess they still managed to get some decent guns here. And once again, what matters is they've been able to get the round, especially after a 3-round streak from Chronicles themselves. Although, once again, this they are nearing completion here para dito sa match na ito. As much as possible, Orion really wants to step up the gears, crack up the gears in some sort of way. And they can definitely do that now, especially na walang kabarel-barel si Chronicles ngayon. And they even have their complete abilities to use. They can carry over even on the next round. But now, they're just gonna be marching here onto B side. And before we even know it, anytime na gustuhin man nilang mag-plant dyan, pwedeng-pwede na.
Open plant na nga, no? So Tap will eventually hit the shot dito kay Migs. Will be that double flank coming through, and Dreech with a shot, a double kill for Dreech. He has been popping in with the sheriff shots and making the most out of these ones, but Kyle will completely nullify the advantage, making it a 1v3 scenario. It's RU also knocked out by MD2 at the end. It's a 5-10 scoreline. It was an expected result, but Dreech really became a wild card here, unexpectedly taking 2 hits doon sa dalawang tao on towards that arcade position. And kahit expected yung position nila dito, they're able to kind of find some firepower into this. And this is actually one of the rare times we see Chronicles falter sa synergy nila kasi sa disparity or sa layo ng distance ni Sovano. Medyo na delay pa nga si Dreech na masagot yung double kill dito, kaya medyo nadalian pa si Kyle na ma-one-tap sila gamit ng Guardian.
True. And we can already see some signs of life here, especially for Orion, lalong-lalo na kay Migson as well as kay Kael. I really love the initiative that's coming from both of these guys, and as much as possible, we really want to aid the team to getting that victory na kanina-kanina pa nilang inaasam-asam. But Sovano, that shot is really nasty, if I may say, but with the support of Dreech, it's not gonna be nasty enough. There's already 3 people down here from Orion. Grabe, sino nagbigay ng bastos pas dito sa dalawang to? Pero are you? Susundan pa itong si Kael, pero we are gonna be seeing those na tutumba na lang sa amin ni unfortunately. And Chronicles is already up to an 11-5. Astounding.
22 kills para kay Bleach. Just let that sink in. We've been highlighting Sovano, who really hit a nasty shot just like this, but I mean, your duelist player is just as good as your Ini. And the Ini really stepping up when he needs to talaga. Dreech, not only a support, but he's also a carry in this regard. 11-5. A pivotal moment para sa support player natin on Chronicles side as they're relying upon the spray down, and Dignified will actually shut down Tap. That's a beautiful first blood, especially on their way towards match point.
Crazy. O, small advertisement muna, naghahanap ng ka-team si Manuel Leo Dumagat. Ang code daw ay HAX591. Guys, sali na raw kayo sa compet nila. Pero wait lang! Dalawa na agad ang napatulog dito from Orion. And nangahas silang mag-push. But unfortunately, there's no answer back. Maybe an attempt. Dreech is already out. But once again, it is a 2v4. Which is definitely a struggle here for Orion. We are yet to even check out if they would even manage to put the spike down at A na bantay sarado na ng lahat, no? Eh, meron pang nag-cover dito. Nandyan pa si Aeonix kung sakali na gustuhin nila na mag-rotate. Armageddon taking out Sovano, though. Wonderfully used and utilized ultimate. But are you still here, still alive, evening out the numbers here from Kael? And now, not quite sure if they will be expecting Aeonix here from the entrance though.
Tisa plant na yung spike na dito, no? 2v2. Dignified needs so much noise, so much presence, just so that they can have somebody just crawl upon dun sa A main, and that's Aeonix. But now has made his presence known, has to take care of MD2, planted the spike on down doon sa may safe spot. And Kyle also holding a good job, making it a 1-for-1. But Aeonix, he has the perfect positioning and the perfect spray down. Knocks down the leader of Orion Esports. Match point secured. Just as quick and as easy as that para kay Aeonix, who really has been the star of the show so far. 12-5, Orion. Muntikan pa nga na mag-lead by example. Ang kaibigan natin na si Kyle decided to Thanos snap everybody and decides to do it all by himself. Pero mainit talaga ang Chronicles in terms of their synergy so far. The communication, after na nang na-clear itong si MD2, full confident itong si Louie, or si Onyx actually, na makapag-swing papunta doon sa last player. So, pasok na ulit sa A-main, Mochi.
Natatawa pa rin ako na meron naghahanap ng teammate sa comment section ng live. Pero, let us check out if this is gonna to be a match secured. Pero wait lang, pumapalag pa si Mix oh. Still alive and kicking, pumapatay pa oh. May pinaparusahan pa. Pero check out natin kung magkakaroon tayo ng magandang trade dito from Chronicles. Dos, in a really cheeky position. Nakita yung ulo niya, pero at least he will be able to take the Dignified out. Might even get the bonus gun, pero mukhang hindi nila kukunin kasi they lack the info of the whereabouts of the rest of the squad of Chronicles kung saan sila manggagaling. Pero it seems like hell is about to break loose. Some shot to be let out here from Kael. Napakalutong ng Sheriff mo, pre! And even the last kill being secured by MD2. And guess what? Buhay na buhay pa ang Orion.
Habang wala pang tigil ang paghinga ng Orion, ang Chronicles kailangan pang magtrabaho. At ang trabaho nila ay lalong mahiging mahirap dahil dito sa eco round na meron sila ngayon. I do like the attempt so far of Chronicles trying to control that aim in extremity, but it's always been the game plan even on the defensive side for Orion. Kaya alam nila kung paano i-counter yun. So got it salvos agad. And then once you killed off yung forward player nyo, in this scenario, it was Sovano, then it's gonna be easy sailing for them as Migs pushes in. That is the ball flight and a double kill from this guy. Oh, he wants it. He wants to be in the second game as victorious as ever. And since he knows that he has the better guns, he really is forcing the gauntlet down as Dignified has a big task at hand, but a little too far from the sun this time. 2v5. At dahil dyan ay madadalian lamang ang Orion, hindi dahil kay RU pero dahil natagalan lang sila mag-plant ng spike.
Spike planted.
Onyx all alone with just a classic na yakap-yakap niya. Unfortunately, not gonna be living long enough to see and even try and defuse the spike. Pero ngayon, it is still going to be an opportunity for them to buy. Pero can we just talk about din yung ginawa ni Migs din? Bro is confident, man. Bro is confident that these guys don't have the money. And look at what he did. The transfer, the flick is perfect.
Sampal sa kaliwa, sampal sa kanan. Para siya pumasok ng birthday party tapos ang dami mga laro.
What? Crazy analogy.
Siya yung pumapatay.
So, pre, sinasabi mo ba na na langaw sila, no?
Ay, wala naman akong sinasabi. Issue kay...
Pinag-away yung players tsaka yung caster na. Charot lang. Solid yung mga players natin, Mati. Kung pwede nga lang, guys, na pareho sila manalo, bibigay namin eh. Kaya lang hindi eh. Sayang.
Okay lang yan. 1 minute on the clock. They already destroyed one of the tripwires, so they're aware of the possibility. Pero nag-overthink lang din sila dito eh. Hold lang doon sa may B. Yung dalawang supportive players natin. Ano ba yan? Oo nga eh. Ayan, Mochi. Huwag nga tayo maglabasan ng baho dito.
Ayun. Sorry, boss. Kailangan tahimik ng paligid masyado. Ayun na nga, nagbinati ko kasi. Ayun tuloy. Migs! Sige nga, Subano, baka masunda pa yun nga lang akong kas niya yung sarili niya. And instead, Onyx will be good for 2. And as well as Aryo, yun nga lang it's like the attempt in terms of trade tap-tap. Makukuha niya naman si Onyx dito. Yun nga lang prolong palalo. Orbital strike being used. Hindi naman kokonekta sa kanila. Kaya lang, wala na silang oras dito. 10 seconds lang. Hindi na latong na. Ano na nilagay dito? Wala na! Are you taking out the 3K to end off this match? Ang crazy! Yung mga last few moments na natin doon, bro. Lahat ng ultimates ibinuhos at 13-7 in favor for our Chronicles.
Grabe, binuhos lahat, pati na rin ang nanay nila, grabe. As in, ultis upon ultis, at sa tingin mo, mapanalo pa nila yun? Well, at this point, alam na natin yung resulta. Congratulations to Chronicles Esports. They won their first round dito pa lang sa ating BO3. And it started with a lot of star power coming through across the board, diba? We've seen a lot of good moments from Ionix and Dreech. Literally, yung pillars ng team na to ang mismong humukay sa lahat ng mga nandito sa Orion Esports side. Kaya, it's kind of no surprise here that this team literally has no star player because everybody is doing all the legwork this time.
Pre, pinaprocess pa rin ng utak ko kung anong nangyari dun sa last sa last round, sorry. Ang crazy, no? I mean, we've been able to see some rounds that were perfectly executed by Orion. I guess it's just not that consistent enough. I really love the step up that came from Migs, but at the same time, I feel like there is some difficulty in terms of follow through amongst his teammates pag gumagawa siya ng mga crazy plays. And what's really wonderful though is we've been able to see them mature and improve as the match goes by. What's unfortunate though is they didn't mature that fast enough to the point that Chronicles just became so consistent ever since the match has been able to start, and despite na nagkakaroon ng times na yung iba sa kanila nadada pa, if I may say, or if that's the correct term to use, no? Like, whenever that Ionix being picked off or hindi niya nagagawa yung mga wrap-arounds or yung mga flanks niya, laging merong sumasangguni. So, let us check out ang ating statistics right now. Most especially, let us put a spotlight, no, for Dreech on the breach pick. Despite of being the support, not only the shield, but also the sword.
No, man. I mean, what else can this guy not do, right? I mean, I think ang ganda din na i-highlight din natin yung kung ano yung mga naging contributions para sa Orion Esports side. I mean, Migs doing Migs things. We already know that he can be very consistent on the duelist role. Pero yung mahirap kasi dito sa naging game nila is that, again, as you mentioned, no follow-up. And sometimes Migs is having that bad habit where he pushes a little bit too far. Kaya nahihirapan siya ma-trade nitong si Tap-Tap, who really had one moment dito sa game natin dito, but it wasn't enough para makuha sila ng kahit anong chances, although we are really expecting him to kind of pop off pagdating dito sa ating BO3. I think Kyle also had some good moments as well. He's been doing a good job of rallying the troops, although it's not gonna be enough for them dahil talagang yung synergy ng Chronicles Esports really has been hell-bent on disrupting Orion Esports and their confidence so far. So I'm wondering if this trend is going to continue pagdating sa Icebox natin, considering that it will be, I believe, a Chronicles Esports map pick.
Yes, indeed. And this just leaves the statement of the caliber that Chronicles is playing specifically in this map. So what more doon sa map na ipinili nila? But we have been able to see this certain curse, no, with quotes, quotations. Kasi hindi tayo sure, merong mga teams na despite na sila yung pumipili ng mapa, they're not aware that their counterpart is actually better in that map, which has been happening for quite some time already from the previous legs na meron tayo. So open for expectations and open for predictions na naman muli for our second map. So, hopefully that our watchers, yung chat natin, yung mga chat natin, yan, kumusta kayo chat? Sana okay kayo, and I guess they've been able to just medyo na-pump up sila dito sa ating unang match.
I hope so, right? I hope na nagustuhan naman nila yung matchup dito as well as yung performance ng Chronicles Esports. They went out yung fracture map nila dito, and I hope na this trend will continue para sa kanila if they want to get towards the grand finals as quickly as possible. And we're gonna be heading on into that second game in just a short while, but before we head on into a short break, kailangan namin i-remind kayo na meron pa tayong promo happening right now kapag nakapag-purchase kayo ng kahit anong Acer Predator notebook, meron kayong libre na 1-month PC Game Pass as well. So pwede nyo i-activate yan na we are in partnership with PC Game Pass para sa mga PC players natin na naghahanap ng good time at mga high quality games na pwede nyo malaro at the comfort of your own Predator notebook as well. So you can also get a lot more other benefits like new games on day 1. Yung kaka-release lang na Elder Scrolls Oblivion, malalaro nyo ngayon na. Yun yung pinakagustong laro. Nilaro ko siya kahapon and I'm so glad I did thanks to the PC Game Pass. You can also get an EA Play membership. You can also get kahit anong benefits ng Riot Games, whether you're playing League of Legends, TFT, or Valorant, magkakaroon ka ng benefits when you purchase your own Acer Predator notebook. So thank you so much sa PC Game Pass for sponsoring today's sermon.
And if you guys are looking for a recommendation, kasama na ng bonus na PC Game Pass na minention ni Ramon kanina, check out ang Predator Heroes Near 16 natin that pushes the boundaries of performance. Featuring the latest Intel Core Ultra 9 processor with a revolutionary 4K mini LED display. This machine delivers unparalleled responsiveness and visual fidelity, empowering you to anticipate and conquer. Ready to dominate? Order your Predator Helios Neo 16 today at the Acer Predator online website.
At yun mga kaibigan, tapos na ang first game of this series, Chronicle Esports taking first blood. But will this be enough? We'll find out if makakabalik ang Orion Esports sa mga sermon. Kasama ko si Mochi and the semifinals of the Kings of PH. We'll be right back.